Hello there, welcome to Five Figures. I'm going to start off today with Starscream. I am not positive what line this Starscream is from. He is very similar to like the Titans Return, pre-Siege Transformers, but he's earlier than that. I want to say this guy's like early 2000s. And easily my favorite Starscream action figure of all of them. He's not very big, but he's better than the old G1 version. He very much looks like the character. You can't really zoom in on this face because, man, it's so dark. There. Kind of get an idea of it. But just the proportions on everything is really good. He's got a little bit of kibble in the back, but I have always loved this thing. He's got the colors are perfect. And like I said, I can't remember what the toy line is, what exact Transformers line this was. But by far one of my favorite Starscreams, and definitely sits out in my collection as posing more often than the others. Just because I've got some others, and they just don't capture it the same that this one does. And I can't say enough good about it. I really wish I could recommend what line it was, but it's been so many years since I bought it, I cannot remember the line. So anyway, next we're going to look at Ronnie here. This is Firestorm. Sorry, my bad. I'm not the most fluent with DC, but I will say this. This DC Classics line is still hands down one of the best DC action figure comic book figure lines that they've ever done. And in fact, this Firestorm I saw in a used toy store, and honestly, that is what made me want to collect the line. I'd seen a few of the others from Mattel, and I was like, yeah, I can pass. But when I saw this guy and just how everything about this just pops, I was just, this guy is amazing. And had to have it. Definitely has the weird hip joint swivel things, which I've never been a big fan of. I always feel like there could have been an easier way of doing that. But you know what? It makes them their own thing. And they were as good as Marvel Legends in my opinion. And they still are. These things, to me, I swear that this still holds up against any Marvel Legend on the market today usually. They're just really good. They're well done, and I still greatly appreciate them. Much better articulation and design than, say, this guy. This is Red Sun Superman, or maybe it's Black Sun Superman. It's one of the suns. This is Superman if he was raised in communist Russia. Interesting take. It's an Elseworld story. You can see the figure is not very posable at all. I mean, he barely moves. That is the range of motion out of his knee. And his leg, that's literally the range of motion you get. Not very posable. The arms are even worse than the legs are. He's kind of just a statue. But he's a statue of a Russian Superman. Communist Superman. And that's why, it's definitely a conversation starter. It's weird. It is weird to see an iconic all-American character decked out so differently. And, I think it's an interesting story just because it's one of those things where, how different would you be if you were born and raised somewhere else? And so that part of the story I've always loved. And I've had a terrible time getting him to stand, so let's see if he'll just stand there. If he can, good. Next, we're going to take a look at Sakura. This is from Street Fighter. I can't remember her first Street Fighter appearance, but I want to say it was like Street Fighter Alpha 3 is the first game I remember her in. This is also just a dynamically articulated figure. This is a Sota action figure. Look at the joints in this shoe. Look at that. That's crazy. It swivels side to side, which doesn't look that great, but it does it. And then she's got toe articulation too. Double jointed knees, ankle that just does anything. She's got weird, very similar to Marvel Legends, Toy Biz type hips. So they just go all over. And the soft rubber skirt stays out of the way just because it's kind of puffered out. So it works. She's got a hellacious ab crunch. That I love a good ab crunch. and then just waist articulation. Double jointed elbows, which you don't often see on like these smaller female figures. So, oh, she also came with an extra head. So if you weren't into the screaming face, you could have a screaming face. She actually came with a ton of accessories, which I'm sure I have somewhere packed away in a bin because I've got thousands of figures and they are just, you can't deal with all the accessories all at once. I will be amazed if I can get her to stand. If I can get her to stand and not take out Superman, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put you like this. There you go. Rock and roll pose. All right, you just chill there. And finally, I got the Velveteen Dream. I'm not a terrible watcher of NXT. It is good, but I just don't catch it that much. This is a WWE pro wrestler who is, I mean, he's really good. A little bit on the weird side, but also pretty darn quirky. And this action figure, not terribly happy with the sculpt. He just looks so much more ripped than the actual guy is that kind of bugs me a little bit. But everything else about it, you know, if they had just toned down this torso a little, I wouldn't have any problem with it because, I don't know, that's the only problem I have. The rest of this action figure is absolutely fantastic. You got his three-eyed glasses symbol. Comes with great glasses on him. And this is an Elite, and I was able to pick this up. These weren't terribly expensive. I mean, if you guys are into WWE Elites, I can't believe that they're, like, Walmart sells these things for like $15 now. And I just think that's great because they are really a nice figure at that price point. Do I have waist rotation under this belt? I can't remember if I do. I guess we're going to pop it off and see. I see the line for it, but he's not moving. There he goes. Haven't had him a long time, so I know he's a little bit stiff. But you get an incredible range of motion. You even get ankle rocker pivot out of this. Double jointed knees, which look a little bulky, but it's all right. Single jointed elbows. A nice ab crunch. Like I said, I love an ab crunch, and I feel like for a wrestling figure, it's even more important to have one. I love the stylized hands and everything that they gave this guy. Like I said, he's a flamboyant, crazy performer, and other than that this figure is a little bulkier than I think it should be, I think it's a tremendous piece. Plus, he came with the belt. Let's see what this is. The NXT North American Championship. And it's a pretty damn good looking belt. Some of the belts look like crap. That one looks very good. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you liked this video. And that was my 5 figures. Bye.